pies. Do you think it'll turn out? Okay, so tomorrow is Thanksgiving, and about 2 hours ago, I said, I need to make some pies. So that's welcome to my mess. I'm making two kinds of bourbon, chocolate, walnut, and pecan pie. Two, because I'm making a regular one with all the carbs and a low carb version. And I'm not gonna really share the recipe with you. I'm just gonna share what I'm doing. How's that sound? And my son said, why aren't you going to share the recipe? I said, because it's my secret family recipe. A few years back, I don't remember how many years back, quite a few now probably, around Thanksgiving time, my cousin shared a recipe. Well, she didn't share the recipe, she shared a picture of the pie she made for Thanksgiving and said it was a bourbon, chocolate, walnut, pecan pie. And I was intrigued and I'm like, that looks really good. I said, would you mind sharing the recipe? Well, the same day I'd shared a picture of the Norwegian waffles that I made, and she said, well, I'll share my recipe if you share yours. I got the better end of the bargain because mine was actually from a package. It was all pre-mixed. I just added water, and I don't know if it had anything else. But she went ahead and she shared her recipe with me, so ever since then, every year I make this bourbon, chocolate, walnut, pecan pie. And some years it turns out great, and some years even better. There you go. One year I popped it in the oven and it just wasn't getting done, and it wasn't getting done, and it wasn't getting done. And by the time I said, it's gotta be done, it was like hours later. I thought, it's ruined, it's no good, but my family loved it. They said it was like eating a candy bar. The texture was great, everything was great about it. And they said, what did you do? Do this again. I just followed the directions. I have no idea what happened with it. So since that time, I've gone low carb, and I had to convert the recipe for me so I could still enjoy my bourbon, chocolate, walnut, pecan pie. When I first did it, I wrote the recipe down, and I don't know where that is. So each year it's like I wing it, and I've gotten better at winging it and doing things like that. So we'll see how that turns out. I made enough pie crust dough for 2 pie crusts, but I needed 3. So I'm rolling it really thin. 1, 2, 3. Now, if you know me, my son's looking at me. He's like, where's she going with the story? If you know me, you know I don't drink. I just don't drink. But I keep bourbon on hand for my recipe. And I remember buying a new bottle last year. Maybe it was the year before. I don't know. The recipe calls for 3 tablespoons of the bourbon whiskey. And I make 2, maybe 4 pies a year.
She uses 4 cups of bourbon in there.
So I don't know, but I thought, in case I mess up, because one year I messed up and I had, I told you it's always good. Anyway, in case I have to make.
I really liked it that time it was messed up.
I already told that story. That was a different time. Just in case I decide I want to make more, which I could make one and I should do that, make an extra and give it to a friend. We ran to the store, and I guess I don't even need to show labels here, and bought another bottle. Wow, this one's darker than this one. This was cheap because I said I'm not drinking it, I'm just baking with it. It's just for the flavor, so do I really need to buy the most expensive one out there? I don't know. Maybe Cousin Lisa will say, yes, you do. I don't know, Lisa, are you watching this? You can tell me. Okay, it smells like alcohol. I don't know. I don't drink. I made the cranberry sauce, and it's very tart. This year, with prices increasing on everything, I purchased nuts ahead of time, and they last a long time before you open them, and even then they last a long time. I'm sure they're dated. Do I want to know the date on this package? Oh, I'm not too far off, 12/1/22. I don't know when I bought the walnuts. I don't really like walnuts, but I did buy them for this recipe, so I'm right on schedule. So the Dutch people have a tradition. Every year for Sinterklaas Day, which is December 5th, they give out chocolate letters. So you get your initial, of course, it's almost an A. A V for my sister, Valerie. Yeah, I have some letters here left over from last year. I guess we don't eat enough chocolate around here that we get chocolate letters left over. I think maybe they're frozen. Because they're not chopping. Since I make this recipe only once, maybe twice a year, I forgot that the nuts need to be toasted. All you do is turn the pan on, throw them in, wiggle them all around in the pan until they get nice and toasty smelling. I'm probably doing it wrong. Oh, the nuts are so good. 3 tablespoons of the bourbon. 1, 2, 3. So, don't tell the others, but I messed up the pie. I might have to make another one. I forgot the eggs. Do you think it'll turn out? I don't know. But then again, it doesn't look too bad. Maybe that's what I did all those years ago. Low carb and sugar-free recipes are a little tricky because you can't add flour to thicken them, and the sweeteners you use don't bulk it up the way sugar bulks it up. So normally I would use xanthan gum, but for some reason I can't find my xanthan gum, but I do have some glucomannan. I think it'll thicken up as it bakes. So I'm just going to add the nuts. Right, there's the second pie, the low carb, sugar-free. Doesn't look too bad. I've got dogs with me. Oh, they see Dutch. They're gonna run up there. It's a beautiful Thursday morning. The sun is shining. It's Thanksgiving Day. Dutch is deciding to plow, I guess. He's gonna run us over. He's coming right my way. Come on, dogs. Come on, come over here. Good dogs. There we go. The pie, even though I forgot ingredients. It's drooling.
I mean, it looks good.
You want to try it?
It's very good. Yeah, it's yummy. It doesn't have like that cakey kind of texture.
But
I
it's
don't
still
usually
okay.
like that.
Oh, so it's
It's
good?
like really caramely and gooey.
Elisa said it was better that way. Oh, this is hard to do one-handed. There are a lot of nuts in there. Now I'm gonna go in. I gotta make an apple pie. So much to do. Oh, I gotta get the turkey and get that in the oven. Wow. Anyway, it's a beautiful Thanksgiving day. Bye. And do I use a fancy one or just an aluminum one?
Just helping out here.
All right. And you'll just be bored watching all that, so I'm not going to show you it all.